Okay, let me on the audio first. Okay, start. Name is RedZap, and this is not a stream. For 2020, only like 8 pages, just to keep me updated or some sort. But when COVID hits, and it is 44 pages now, I also receive some tons of requests to like or follow them. I don't really mind it. In fact, I want to help them at all. That's why I do some ratings, some streams from time to time to check those. Guess what? There's some people doesn't know the workaround special on their page. Henceforth, I recorded this advice. No, I'm not talking about the software, hardware, or such things like that to use that you will use in streaming, but I will get advice about those streaming. Let's just say call it etiquette. Okay, I'll set up the what am I saying here now? Advice when do streaming. Number 1. Don't abandon your channel or page. I will see this after a month or 2. This is not an excuse to leave it after you use it. If you want to leave this, have a message of why you can provide such content. Better just remove it. I mean, if you're searching on social media, you have to set something. It makes times to load because of so many data that is stored. So if you want to use it, please use it according to the what is the target of the page. Like mine, I use my page not just a gaming, rather my other shenanigans as well. That's why I name it the RedZap Gaming Shenanigans on my Facebook. Not some others people that they only dedicated as for gaming. So that's my excuse for my case. Okay, number 2. Be sure to follow streaming policy. I'm talking about the platform, games, apps, us generally. Okay. Some people that think that streaming is easy and accessible. Well, not quite. You know why? That's because streamer / content creator have to follow the streaming policy of stream platform and apps, as well as the content that you are about to engage, especially on the games, because not all games can be used on stream freely. Like in exhibition, the types of Call of Duty Mobile, the 13 years old below are not allowed to use their product by default, unless there's a parental consent. So, if upon doing something streaming, please do some stream policy. You always have that. I always do that, especially on checking on games about to play. I not just play the game and stream right away. I have to read first to know what is my limits to do. Usually, if the game is not launched, you're not allowed to stream that. Okay. And also for viewers, please follow the streaming policy as well, because there's some policy that about the viewers. Okay. Okay, number 3. Provide links for such product. Yes. Everyone wants convenience. I mean, who doesn't? So you better provide it, especially when they do such a collab or have guests on your content that not some recognition or promotional. Don't make audience viewers find it by themselves, since we have to confirm verify if it is really him or her. I usually counter this to some of my ratings, and some of them really do some shoutouts or rather promote some other channels as well as on the people, but they don't provide the links. I mean, why? Come on. I mean, it's easy even on phone. I mean, I use my example for myself. RedZap. If you want to subscribe to my channel, my YouTube, Of course, some of you will search RedZap, but I'm how surprised you. I don't use RedZap on my YouTube channel. I use my other names. That's why I provide some links here, like this, in my caption on the Facebook or description of my YouTube. I provide it so that people may not confuse on who's as what or whatsoever or whosoever is that or about to visit, and to provide some convenience. Okay, next number, saying their name is enough. Privacy expensive nowadays. Yes. I will say that because there's a reason. Once you do an online activity, it is now public knowledge, regardless if you set it as friend-only audience. Also, doxing became apparent in this era, so if you should not to become responsible for such doxing, better not give you any more details. I mean, if you do some shoutouts and notify me, and you know that person, or some mention some names even though that they did not want those shoutouts or notifications at all, please, saying their name will be enough, because if you say their connections or what they are, it's in kind of breach of privacy. It's kind of rude, actually, and that's why privacy is expensive because of almost all people have a phone with its camera attached or whatever device that features or is this technology that can be used to remove some privacy about those person. So please, just saying their name will be enough. Okay. Lastly is the interact with your audience and viewers. Why streaming or doing some contents when you are not welcome to interact? Unless if this is a listed or private video, why doing it on public when you don't have attention? I mean, there are some people to do this. I mean, why? Why you don't interact if you and post it publicly regardless? Come on, interact, okay? Okay, some of you might think that I also don't interact my audience as well or in the viewers because I have many reasons. Number one, I'm playing a game. You're playing the game. We focus on your game. And to strengthen that my statement, I built some guidelines here, my optional captions here, and my description as well. So if you don't follow that, man, you're not doing it right. I mean, it's a policy or the guidelines for every viewing my content. So it's not. So I have an excuse to there's some time that I'm not interacting with some audience or my viewers, especially the gaming, because I mean you have to focus. If you're a gamer, you know that you have to focus game, especially if it is multiplayer. Well, but single player maybe maybe can look at some chats or interact also with audience viewers, especially when getting lost in my levels or some game. Okay, so that's it for now. I want to just share this dilemma or what they call it. But thank you for watching, and see you somewhere else.